Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's explainer. We're looking at a massive, literally industry-altering shift happening in pharmaceutical AI right this very second. We're at a true inflection point, you know? AI is finally moving out of those cool little pilot programs and into massive, enterprise-scale deployment. But there's a huge hurdle in the way. And guess what? It's not the technology itself. It's human capital. And the companies caught right in the crosshairs of all this, mid-size pharma. So today, we're going to break down exactly what they need to do to survive. To really wrap our heads around the scale of what we're talking about, let's look at the numbers. $24 billion. The global AI and pharmaceutical market was sitting at roughly 2.5 to 3.4 billion in 2025. But by 2034, it is projected to absolutely explode to over $24 billion. We're talking a compound annual growth rate of up to 27%. The sheer investment velocity here is just staggering. But, and this is a big but, here is where we hit a massive roadblock. It's a glaring paradox. Think about this. If AI is booming so much, why do 95% of generative AI pilots show literally zero measurable financial impact? Seriously, zero. Billions of dollars are flowing into this space, yet the actual profit and loss statements, they aren't budging at all for the vast majority of these test runs. We are going to unpack exactly why that's happening, and more importantly, how to fix it. So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the pharma AI paradox, then examine the universal talent gap, take a quick global tour through the United States, European, and Asian markets, and finally, wrap up with exactly how to win the AI race. All right, Section 1, the pharma AI paradox. Let's look at mid-size vulnerability. Mid-size pharma companies are in a really uniquely vulnerable position right now. On one hand, they're super agile, but on the other, they obviously lack the massive blank check resources of big pharma. And that dynamic leads straight into a trap. Look at this. 43% of life science organizations report having transformational AI maturity. Sounds great, right? But peek under the hood. For mid-size companies, 70% of budgets are still sitting under $5 million. And here is the absolute most shocking stat. Only about 5% of custom tools actually reach production. Basically, these companies get totally stuck in a pilot proliferation loop. They build these great little test models, but they never reach production-grade GXP-compliant deployment, meaning they never actually meet those strict good practice quality guidelines the regulators demand. Which brings us to Section 2, the universal talent gap. This is the main bottleneck. So, the reason 95% of those pilots fail to reach production, it's not the technology. It's not a lack of computing power. The real bottleneck is workforce readiness. Nearly half, 49% of all pharma professionals globally, say a lack of specific digital skills is their single biggest obstacle to transformation. It honestly doesn't matter if you're working in New York, Berlin, or Tokyo. This human capital deficit is what's holding the entire industry back. And within that talent gap, there's one specific, absolutely crucial missing link, the AI translator. So what is that? This is a professional who is fully fluent in both heavily regulated pharma operations and advanced computational AI methods. They are literally the ultimate bridge between the high-tech world and the science lab. The problem? They are practically unicorns. A staggering 70% of hiring managers admit they just cannot find candidates with this specific blend of skills. It is the single most underproduced talent profile in the world right now. Let's look at how this plays out geographically. Section 3, the United States Playbook. Right now, the U.S. is the undisputed global leader in AI pharma deployment. North America completely dominates the market share at 41.5%. And a massive reason for this incredible lead, regulatory infrastructure. The FDA's Digital Health Center of Excellence has been really active in creating practical, usable frameworks for AI-enabled tools, which gives US-based companies a much clearer pathway to validation. But hey, it's not all smooth sailing over there. The big US advantage is that agile innovation and just incredible access to tech partner and venture capital ecosystems. In fact, 30% of mid-sized leaders there are pursuing external-first strategies, partnering directly with AI vendors. However, the disadvantage is absolutely brutal: the extreme cost of AI talent. Mid-size pharma in the US isn't just competing with big pharma for these unicorns. They are directly competing with Silicon Valley tech giants. Because of that insane competition, it's taking companies 4 to 6 months just to fill specialized AI roles. Crossing the Atlantic, we hit Section 4, European compliance and attrition. Europe is currently lagging a bit behind North America in deployment, And the whole narrative over there is heavily focused on regulation. This timeline is basically everything for European mid-size pharma. The EU AI Act is the world's first comprehensive legal framework for AI. And look at these aggressive deadlines. Mandatory AI literacy initiatives already came into force in February 2025. By August 2026, all high-risk AI systems have to demonstrate full compliance. And let me tell you, that compliance burden falls proportionally way heavier on a mid-sized company than on a massive multinational. So the European trade-off really looks like this. The upside, companies who master this will have totally unmatched ethical governance credibility and regulatory trust. But the immediate downsides are tough, a heavy compliance burden and some really severe talent attrition. The EU is currently staring down a structural shortfall of 1.4 million AI professionals. Plus, a lot of Eastern European markets are suffering from a severe brain drain, losing talent to the West, or sometimes out of the EU entirely. Moving east, we have Section 5, Asia's high-speed growth. The Asia-Pacific region is the fastest-growing market out there when you look at investment velocity. Just let this stat sink in for a second. Asia contributed over 85% of global growth in innovative drug pipelines in 2024. 85%. Markets like China and India are just moving at unbelievable speeds. China has early discovery to IND cycles, that's the time it takes to submit an investigational new drug application, running 50 to 70% faster than global averages. Meanwhile, India is aggressively leveraging its absolutely massive STEM talent pool. But once again, we find a paradox. The massive advantages here are raw, unfiltered operational speed and that enormous base of STEM talent. The disadvantage, though, is structural access. Listen to this. While 91% of workers in the region are super eager to acquire AI skills, only 15% have actually engaged in any training programs. The access to upskilling is incredibly fragmented, and if you step outside the Tier 1 cities, the tech infrastructure remains highly unequal. So bringing this all together into a complete global picture, we see that the skills gap is totally universal. But it manifests entirely differently depending on where you are. In the US, your biggest barrier is tech sector competition, but your advantage is agility. In the EU, your barrier is brain drain, but you gain massive ethical credibility. And in APAC, your barrier is fragmented training, but man, you have unmatched discovery speed. Okay, final stretch. Section 6, winning the AI race. We know mid-size pharma is vulnerable. We know the pilot trap is real, and the talent gap is the main barrier holding everything back. So how do you actually win? Well, the data provides a surprisingly clear answer. You could try to hire new talent, sure, but that's highly expensive, comes with a 6-month waiting lag, and those tech folks usually lack any real pharma fluency. Or you can reskill your existing teams. Reskilling your current domain experts into those AI translators we talked about costs 50% less, it boosts employee retention by 25%, and it delivers a 15% efficiency gain. For mid-sized players watching their budgets, reskilling absolutely destroys hiring. It's a no-brainer. So if you are steering a mid-sized pharma company toward 2030, these are your 3 universal, actionable steps. Step 1, reskill your pipelines. Actively build AI translators out of your existing domain experts. Step 2, shift out of that pilot mindset and mandate production. Remember, a pilot is only successful if it has a real GXP validation roadmap to actual deployment. Stop the standalone experimentation. And step 3, build cross-functional AI governance early. Bring quality, regulatory, IT, and clinical together from day one to ensure compliance, no matter what global region you operate in. I want to leave you with this final, really provocative thought. The winners won't be those with the best models, but those with the most AI-fluent workforces. The technology is already here. The regulators are moving. The only question left is this. Are you still just investing in code, or are you investing in the human capital required to actually run it? Because workforce transformation isn't just some HR support function anymore. It is the core strategy determining your survival. Thanks so much for joining me on today's Explainer, and keep questioning how you're building your teams for the future.